Jim Ratcliffe, as I'm sure you know, is one of the most prominent business people in the UK. Billionaire, co-owner of Manchester United, made his money in industry, and has been telling us today that he thinks Britain has been colonised by immigrants. He says, actually, you can't have an economy with 9 million people on benefits and huge levels of immigrants coming in. What do you think?
Well, I think there's two issues there. One is about the numbers of people coming into the UK through the immigration routes, and the other is the number of people on benefits. I'm always very conscious in any discussion about benefits that there will be people who desperately need the support of the welfare state who will be very, very worried hearing anything other than that they will always have the support and protection they need if they need it. But I think he is right to say that there are too many people who we've written off, not allowed to make the contribution that they could make to this country. And we are particularly concerned about that as a government, especially when it comes to young people. We've got far too many young people who go into the benefits system at a very early age and never come out. And that is such a waste of lives and opportunity. And that's why we're investing in them to try and turn that around. When it comes to immigration, I think that people deserve an immigration system that they can trust. I think most people are very compassionate, and where people need safety and security, they expect Britain to play our part. And we'll give a warm welcome to people who need to be here. I think when it comes to immigration more generally, though, one of the biggest challenges that we've had is not just the chaos and the uncontrolled immigration and the sheer numbers that we saw rising to their peak under the Boris Johnson government and under the last Conservative government. It's also that people want to see that when people are coming here to work and making a contribution, that they're not doing that at the expense of governments that aren't prepared to invest in young people, in communities, to be able to get those good jobs and those opportunities. So we've got to match up the skills that we have in this country and make sure we're investing in that, not just relying on migration from overseas in order to fill those jobs when our young people can't get them. And that's where I think the link is, and that's where I think it becomes really dangerous.
Isn't it a huge problem? Isn't it a dangerous problem? You have one of the wealthiest, most successful individuals here with this perception of what you are or what you're not doing as a government.
Well, I think we are doing it, and I'd be more than happy to speak to him about what we're doing.
But is it a problem that he has the perception? He'll be vocalising the perception of millions of people potentially with that.
Well, I don't think it's any secret in this country that too many people think that
are on benefits.
That we've written off a whole generation of people. We've got older people who came out of work during COVID who never got back in, and we've got far too many young people. We've got 1 million young people in this country not in any kind of employment, education or training. That is a tragedy and a waste, and it's completely unsustainable.
Why then did the Parliamentary Labour Party fail to back the government's measures to change the welfare state?
Well, I think the Parliamentary Labour Party actually made a valid point, which is that we had instigated a review of this system and the changes that we needed to make sure that people didn't have to spend their entire lives on benefits, could come off the benefits and get into work. And we brought forward those reforms before that review was completed. I think they're right to say, hang on a minute, we want to see this done well and we want to see it done properly. And I think as a government, when people raise concerns and objections, you should listen. Doesn't mean you'll always agree, and there are several things on which we've been challenged repeatedly, and we've chosen to do them anyway because we think they are in the interests of the country. But where people raise valid concerns and objections, I think we should listen and we should respond accordingly.
He's made his money and has success here. Nevertheless, he does live in Monaco. Does that give him the right to say what should happen in the UK? Well,
look, it's up to Sky how much prominence you want to give him. I think everybody's got the right to voice their opinion. But as a government, we have the right to push back where we think people are getting it wrong. And I think this country has many challenges, one of which is we haven't invested in the skills of young people growing up for a very long time so that they can get those really great jobs. In many sectors, we are just reliant every year on bringing people in from outside. My dad comes from an immigrant background. I want your viewers to know that I'm really proud that Britain is a diverse and tolerant country that is strengthened by waves of immigration. But you can't have a system where we're taking talent away from other countries because successive governments haven't been bothered to invest in our own young people, and we are turning that around.